So just 3 days after my dad passed away, I was back in school. I was in fourth grade at the time, and my dad had passed away on a Friday, and I went back to class by that Monday. Even though my family and teachers assured me it would be okay to take time off because of what had happened, I absolutely insisted on going back as soon as possible. It wasn't because I didn't care, it wasn't because I didn't realize how big of a deal my dad's death was. It was simply the way I was grieving at the time. I was feeling like I needed to escape this trauma that just happened, even if it was just for half a day at school. But it was also because I didn't want to be different from the other kids. And at the time, I didn't know anyone else my age who had lost a parent. And I had already been different because of the social anxiety disorder that I was suffering from. And I didn't speak out loud because of it in class. So I was already different. And I didn't want another thing to make me different. So I was just desperately trying to fit in and pretend like it wasn't happening. But of course, I knew inside that I had always been different from my first day of school, and this wasn't going to change, and this was something I couldn't change. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because when a child loses a parent or someone else close to them, their grief might look different from an adult's grief. I mean, everyone grieves in their own way, of course, but I think especially children. And I think what's very important is to give them compassion, don't judge them, and give them the support and love that they need in whatever way that may be. Every child is different. And no, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist or any of that, but I am a person that went through it, and I know how I felt. So surely there are kids out there who may feel a similar way, and they may be grieving in their own ways that are different from the way I handled it. But they're still developing, their brain is still developing, they're still trying to process things. So even though it may not look like it, these traumatic situations that happen are really going to add to what they become. And it's so important that they get that support when they need it most. And it takes me back to when a lot of people say, oh, children are resilient. But are they really? Children may appear okay on the surface, but remember, their brain is still growing, and any traumatic thing that happens to them, they're internalizing. And whether they project that out or not, doesn't mean it's not there. So if you have a child or know a child who is grieving a loved one, I encourage you to just be there for them if you can, or get someone else to be there for them who can support them in a healthy way. And just be patient with them, and don't always assume that you know how they're handling it or what they're doing on the outside is a representation of how they're feeling inside, because it usually has a deeper meaning. I feel like this was an important episode because a lot of children are often overlooked when it comes to immediate grief and something especially unexpected happening and traumatic. And it's usually not intentional, but I think it is good to think about what the children need at that time from someone who can show it to them, even if it's not, their immediate family. So, thanks for listening and watching, and for having your coffee with me. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.